skeleton crew the minimum number of people needed to operate something, such as an organization, a ship, or an oil rig.
In my case, I have a lot of bones, but I only need one for your mom. Oh shit.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to 31 Days of Horror. I'm Morgan Film Fan. Let's jump into some scares. Skeleton Crew is a film that was released in 2009, and this is a Finnish film, and you can definitely tell from the accents that everybody portrays. Everybody's speaking in English in this film, so this is not a subtitled film. And basically what we have going on here is we have a snuff film story where this crew is filming a horror film based on a true story in the film about this guy who created a bunch of snuff films and left them in this mental hospital, and they're using the mental hospital as their set, pretty much, and they're creating this film called Silent Creek, which completely reminds me of Silent Hill, one of my favorite video game franchises of all time, and great film as well, in my opinion, the first one. And they're filming this film around this mental hospital, and it's led by this director. Forget names, I apologize. I'm always not the greatest at keeping names in my head when it comes to characters, especially with a film filled with a bunch of them. However, there is this director that is very passionate about his project, and as the film goes on, he begins to become obsessive and overly passionate, and then he basically wants to begin to create a snuff film of his own, and he wants to have these actors and actresses go above and beyond and give it their all, literally, to create this horror film. So you also get snuff film scenes in this, because we do get to see the snuff films that this fictional serial killer snuff film creator in the film, that in the film is based on a true story, and this true guy. You get to see the films that he created, and I'm telling you, they're vicious and they're brutal. This is a low budget film. It's all very indie, very low budget, but it's all practical effects, and I am a sucker for my practical effects. I think when it comes to horror, practical effects are the way to go. CGI doesn't even hold a candle to it, so I can always appreciate that. It's a very entertaining film. The only thing that kind of took me back a little bit is this film starts out as your basic film, and it goes on for at least 20 minutes before it'll cut and you'll realize that the crew is making a fictional film. So after like 20-25 minutes or something like that, the movie just stops, and then you see this crew like talking to each other, and you realize that everybody in the film is an actor, an actress, or actor or actress, like making this fictional film. So it's a film within a film, and I was really enjoying where this was going. So it kind of took me back a little bit, because I wanted to see more of this, because the way the film was going, I was already invested in. So when I realized that it was all fiction and all, them creating a film within this movie, I was kind of like, oh, well, I hope I hope I can invest into this actual plot just as much as I did with the opening of the film, with where you're seeing the movie that they're filming, kind of thing. And I did enough. I mean, like I said, I wanted to see more of what they were making, but the story that was in here, especially with the director, who does a really good job playing psychotic, and you can tell that he's really, I wouldn't say losing his mind, but like becoming so obsessed and wanting to make this film as real as possible, where he actually literally makes it real. And the acting in here is, I'm gonna say, bad. However, I'm pretty sure that's the point, and it's more quirky, especially when they're filming the film. Everybody acts so quirky and everybody acts so strange, and I believe that that is what the direction is supposed to be. I think everybody is supposed to be weird and quirky, especially the director, obviously, because he has that like crazy, eccentric, psychotic personality to him, and he sells that so well. And I was really buying him with everything. I mean, there's scenes where he puts this drill, which he says is fake, which clearly doesn't look fake, but he puts it in the hand of an actor and he's like, okay, it's fake, you know, he tests it on the guy's head. But then you see him like play with it and he'll like tamper with it, and then you see him give it back to the actor, and it clearly has this blade on it, like a screw, like an actual drill, and the actor's just like, okay, no problem. And I'm just like, did you not see the director tamper with it? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you blind? And then he drills it into the girl's head, and lo and behold, he actually hurts her and actually kills her, and then he's like freaking out and everything, and I'm like, you're a dumbass. The ending of this film also makes no sense. Unless this film is going into some kind of supernatural territory in the last 30 seconds, the ending is very strange and not fitting and doesn't make any sense. I mean, no sense. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it makes no sense whatsoever. At all. And like I said, it's the very, very last 30 seconds of the film. But other than that, it's a fun film. It's a fun horror film with great practical effects, and there's a lot of brutality. Like, we're talking like hostile brutality when it comes to the snuff films, and there's many ways that the people are being tortured in the snuff films, and you get a lot of brutality in this film. It is a Finnish film, like I said. So, you know, I always see a lot more brutality in European films and foreign films than I do in American cinema. But you know, they go there a lot, and it's always a hit and miss when it comes to these independent films and these low budget films, because a lot of them just, they don't put the effort into them, and a lot of them are honestly boring at the end of the day. But this one is an exception, and this is one of the hits, and it keeps you entertained, and it keeps you on edge through the entire thing. And there's a lot of effort put into this film. Now, like I said, not everybody is going to get behind the acting, because the acting is extremely hokey often, but the characters are fun, and there's a lot of great, you know, weapons being used, and different torture methods in the snuff films, like I mentioned, being used. But even in the filmmaking itself, when the director goes complete batshit, which is pretty much the second half of the film, when he's completely unhinged, he's very creative. That almost sounds like I'm painting him in a positive light, which I'm not. But he doesn't hold back, and there's no bars held in this film, and you know, it's just a lot of fun. A lot of people might not be able to get behind like the accents again, because like I said, everybody's speaking English, and a lot of people have the thick Finnish accent. Would I rather see this film subtitled? I don't know. You know, the only thing I can't stand is dubs, so I wouldn't mind seeing this film subtitled, but at the same time, I also don't mind seeing a film where, you know, in a European country that people are speaking English, especially in a Scandinavian country where a lot of people, you know, English is a second language, so it is a little bit more common than, let's say, you know, Germany. You know, if I'm seeing a German film, I expect people to speak German. You know, I don't think a lot of people in Germany go around speaking English to each other. Same with Portugal, same with Spain, same with France. But when it comes to like Finland, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, I think English is more common in those countries than other European countries. But I digress on that. It's a fun film. I recommend Skeleton Crew if you like low budget independent cinema, and if you like foreign films, because it is a foreign film at the end of the day. It's great, and I mean, this is one hell of a horror film to recommend if you like practical gore and a lot of it, and a lot of like sick and depraved torture scenes. I Again, I sound like a fucking psychopath. But, I mean, horror's never bothered me because I always know it's fiction, so, there's that. But it's not for everybody, and if you're really squeamish, I don't recommend this film because it does go to the extreme side of things. It's not an extreme film. It's not an extreme horror film by definition, but it is extreme in its subject matter, and there is a lot of painful scenes, killing scenes in the film. So it's fun though. I had a great time. If this is your kind of thing, this is a recommendation for me. So far, this is the best film that I've seen this 31 days. Out of the other 3 that I've seen, this is first place. So that's saying a lot. And I recommend Skeleton Crew. So I very much had a good time, a good spooky time with this film. So stay tuned for more 31 Days of Horror. I will be back with plenty of more reviews. So subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more 31 Days of Horror and keep things spooky. Until next review, cheers.